China dropped most of its strict COVID curbs on Wednesday after unprecedented protests against them last month. But cities that were already battling with their most severe outbreaks, like Beijing, saw a sharp decrease in economic activity after rules such as regular testing were scrapped. Anecdotal evidence suggests that many businesses have been forced to close as infected workers quarantine at home, while many other people are deciding not to go out because of the higher risk of infection. Zhong Nanshan, a prominent Chinese epidemiologist, told state media that the Omicron strain of the virus prevalent in China was highly transmissible and one infected person could spread it to as many as 18 others. We can see that hundreds of thousands or tens of thousands of people are infected in several major cities, Zhong said. With regular COVID testing of Beijing residents scrapped and reserved only for groups such as health workers, official tallies for new cases have plunged. Health authorities reported 1,661 new infections for Beijing Saturday, down 42% from 3,974 on December 6, a day before national policies were dramatically relaxed. But evidence suggests there are many more cases in the city of nearly 22 million people where everyone seems to know someone who has caught COVID. In my company, the number of people who are COVID negative is close to zero, said one woman who works for a tourism and events firm in Beijing who asked to be identified as just Nancy. We realize this can't be avoided, everyone will just have to work from home, she said. Higher risk. Sunday is a normal business day for shops in Beijing, and it is usually bustling, particularly in spots like the historic Shikahai neighborhood packed with boutiques and cafes. But few people were out and about on Sunday. Malls in Chaoyang, Beijing's most populous district, were practically deserted, with many salons, restaurants and retailers shut. Economists widely expect China's road to economic health to be uneven, as shocks such as labor crunches due to workers calling in sick delay a full-fledged recovery for some time yet. The transition out of zero COVID will eventually allow consumer spending patterns to return to normal, but a higher risk of infection will keep in-person spending depressed for months after reopening, Mark Williams, chief Asia economist at Capital Economics, said in a note. China's economy may grow 1.6% in the first quarter of 2023 from a year earlier, and 4.9% in the second, according to Capital Economics. Epidemiologist Zhong also said it would be some months before a return to normal. My opinion is in the first half of next year, after March, he said. While China has removed most of its domestic COVID curbs, its international borders are still largely closed to foreigners, including tourists. Inbound travelers are subjected to 5 days of quarantine at centralized government facilities and 3 additional days of self-monitoring at home. But there are even hints that that rule could change. Staff at the main international airport in Chengdu City, asked if quarantine rules were being eased, said that as of Saturday whether or not one needed to do the 3 days of home quarantine would depend on a person's neighborhood authorities.
Serbia's Vučić seeks NATO approval to send forces to North Kosovo. Serbia will ask NATO peacekeepers to let it deploy Serbian military and police to volatile northern Kosovo, although it believes there is no chance of the request being approved, Serbian President Aleksandar Vučić has said. The European Union's foreign policy chief Josep Borrell warned last month of the potential for escalation and violence after emergency talks between Kosovo and Serbia failed to resolve their long-running dispute over car license plates used by the ethnic Serb minority in Kosovo. The proposal by Belgrade to send its forces to the former Serbian province, and now independent Kosovo, could escalate already seething tensions in the Balkan states. Vučić told a news conference on Saturday in Belgrade that he would make the request to deploy Serbian forces in a letter to the commander of NATO's KFOR mission, the alliance's peacekeeping force in Kosovo. "We will request from the KFOR commander to ensure the deployment of army and police personnel of the Republic of Serbia to the territory of Kosovo and Metohija," Vučić said, adding that he had no illusions that the request would be accepted. The request to NATO would be the first time Belgrade has sought to deploy troops in Kosovo under the provisions of a UN Security Council resolution which ended a 1998–1999 war and in which NATO interceded against Serbia to protect Albanian-majority Kosovo. The resolution said Serbia could deploy up to 1,000 military, police and customs officials to Orthodox Christian religious sites, areas with Serb majorities and border crossings, if such a deployment is approved by KFOR's commander. At the time of the resolution, Kosovo, which declared independence in 2008, was still recognized as part of Serbia. Belgrade, supported by Russia and China, has refused to recognize Kosovo's statehood. NATO still has about 3,700 peacekeepers stationed in the former Serbian province to prevent violence between ethnic Albanians and Serbs. Destabilize the region. Kosovo Prime Minister Albin Kurti's office said the move by Serbia would be an act of aggression and an indication of Serbia's tendencies to destabilize the region. Vučić's remarks come after a spate of incidents and growing tension between Kosovo authorities and Kosovo Serbs who constitute a majority in northern areas of Kosovo. On Saturday, Kosovo Serbs exchanged gunfire with police officers in the volatile north, and Kosovo's President Vjosa Osmani announced that local elections scheduled for December 18 in the area would be delayed until next year. The gunfire broke out after Serbs blocked main roads in the northern region to protest against the arrest of a former member of the Kosovo police who quit his post last month along with other ethnic Serb officials. Authorities in Pristina said former policeman Dejan Pantic was arrested for allegedly attacking election commission offices, police officers and election officials on Tuesday. Serb mayors in northern Kosovo municipalities, along with local judges and some 600 police officers, resigned last month in protest over a government decision to replace Belgrade-issued car license plates with ones issued by Pristina. Police said the blockade on Saturday halted traffic, and they were forced to close 2 border crossings between Kosovo and Serbia. Later, they said they came under fire in several locations close to a lake bordering Serbia. There were no immediate reports of injuries. In an effort to defuse tensions, Kosovar President Osmani announced the postponement until April 23 of local elections in the northern municipalities of Mitrovica, Zubin Potok, Zvikan and Leposavić. The EU has also warned both Serbia and Kosovo to resolve their disputes peacefully and to normalize relations if they want to be considered eligible for membership in the bloc.
Kosovo police exchange fire with local Serbs blocking roads. Earlier in the day, Serbs from Kosovo's north blocked main roads in the region to protest against the arrest of a former member of the Kosovo police who quit his post last month along with other ethnic Serbs. With a crisis mounting in the majority Serb north, Kosovo's President Vjosa Osmani on Saturday announced that local elections in that area would be delayed until April 23. Elections had been scheduled for December 18, but Serbs said they would boycott the polls. Police said the blockade halted traffic and they were forced to close 2 border crossings between Kosovo and Serbia. Later, they said they came under fire in several locations close to a lake bordering Serbia. There were no immediate reports of injuries. Police units, in self-defense, were forced to respond with firearms to the criminals who were repulsed and run in unknown directions, police said in a statement. Gunshots were also heard in other locations in the northern part of the country. Police in Pristina said former policeman Dejan Pantic was arrested for allegedly attacking election commission offices, police officers and election officials on Tuesday. Serb mayors in northern Kosovo municipalities, along with local judges and some 600 police officers, resigned last month in protest over a government decision to replace Belgrade-issued car license plates with ones issued by Pristina. Serbia has instructed its illegal structures to set up barricades in the North Kosovo. Belgrade bears the full responsibility for any escalation, Blaram Vela, Kosovo's presidential chief of staff said on Twitter. Earlier, Kosovo police arrested another Serb on suspicion of taking part in an armed attack on a police patrol. On Thursday, a policeman was injured in an attack on a patrol after police ranks in the area had been reinforced by non-Serb officers following the mass resignations. In an urgent press conference, Serbia's President Aleksandar Vučić said he would ask NATO's KFOR peacekeeper mission to let Serbia deploy troops and police in Kosovo, although he acknowledged there was no chance of permission being granted. Kosovo declared independence from Serbia in 2008 with the backing of the West, following a 1998 to 1999 war in which NATO intervened to protect Albanian-majority Kosovo.